Good evening, viewers. Welcome to our show. This is Sage the cat. Meow. It's good to see you. Thank you for joining us. We're going to be continuing our journey with playing Taboo, the Sixth Sense, which came out on the Nintendo in 1988 or 89. It's a tarot game that only uses one type of card layout called the Celtic Cross. So for those of you who are versed with tarot games or tarot readings, this game can only do one type. That's why we do have some limitation on what kind of questions can be asked. General questions are easier. Yes or no questions are harder. So let's begin with our first questioner. His name is Luis, and he would like to know how this year's going to turn out for him. So tonight, Sage the cat has a helper since she heard her little paw-paw, and I can't type tonight, so Sage has a typer. Luis is the name. You'll notice that the game doesn't allow for capital letters, so we'll forgive the game for that. The birth date of Luis is January 01. The date is 04. And the year is 85. And Luis is a male. Okay, thank you, helper. The question will be, how is this year? This is a good question. Going to pan out. So how is this year going to pan out for me? In case you're wondering, that's the game is showing a hand holding a feathered quill that's writing on a scroll. Some people think it's a fish bone. Maybe it's just me that thinks it's a fish bone. Maybe Sage is hungry. All right, how is this year going to pan out for me? Let's go ahead and submit the question, and the cards will be shuffled. Enticing, mesmerizing. This first card is supposed to represent the querent, the person who's asking, as the whole deck is supposed to represent the universe or all that is. So, just tradition. Here's the spread, and this first card that will be shown will be what's this about? What's important to you now? It seems that so far for this life, there's been some kind of recovery or some rest from sorrow. Some bad times happened maybe last year, since you're asking about this year. We're looking for a change for the better. We need to maybe relax. Let's see, the next card will represent what some kind of challenge is, what an obstacle might be. So let's go ahead and ask the game what the next card is. This is known as the crossing card. The obstacle is, well, more sorrow. I'm not sure what's going on in Luis's life. The cards that are going to be shown next might give us some more insight on that. But it looks like Luis might be worried about more sorrow, more obstacle, unhappiness, some kind of discordant happenings. Let's see what our next card shows. This is the crowning card, and we have the Four of Coins, also known as the Four of Pentacles. The crowning card represents what you already know to be true about the situation. It represents your beliefs about the present. And it seems like maybe Luis has come into some money. Maybe he got a present, a really good present this year so far. Maybe he's being more of a budgeter or conserving his resources. Is any of this true for you, Luis? It's curious. Let's move on to the next card. The next card drawn is the base of the matter. And the base of the matter is basically what's motivating you to ask this question. What's the root cause? The Page of Swords is also known as the Princess of Swords, depending on what tarot you use. It seems like Luis probably wants some wisdom, some strength in becoming wise. He's curious about how to become more wise. Perhaps he's entering into studenthood. Maybe he's going back to school. Let's see what the next card shows. Past influences. This card is about something that has happened in the past that is influencing the question as of now. The Two of Coins, also known as the Two of Pentacles. Some pleasant change. Something has happened, some kind of harmony or playfulness that's entered his life. Maybe it's making Luis hopeful about this year. That sounds lovely. Let's see about the next card. What does the next card in the drawing show? Forthcoming influences. You'll notice at the very beginning of the game, this Taboo Nintendo game, it mentions it being a time machine. That is about it being able to look into the future. Sage the cat, this kitty, believes that the future is always changing, that the time is in flux. Although there are some probabilities that are more possible than others, this card is representing forthcoming influences, something that should be coming into the near future. It could be a person, it could be a situation, or some kind of experience that is relevant to the question. So we have the Emperor as a forthcoming influence. It seems like maybe Luis is having some kind of authoritative figure come into his life, maybe a father figure, a grandfather figure, someone who has power or some kind of stable influence. So Luis, look out for this person. Now on to the last four cards of the Celtic Cross drawing. This next card will represent how you see yourself in the present situation. the Ace of Cups. It seems like Luis is ready for pleasure, for happiness, for new love this year. I guess who isn't, right? But especially from what seems to be some painful times that Luis went through last year, or might be still going through. Luis is having some productivity. He's maybe having some pleasure in his life, new friendships, flowing emotions. The next card that'll be shown will be about the environment and circumstances that are going on in Luis's life. Let's see what card is drawn for that. The Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is also known as the Princess of Cups. I'm used to using the princess, so I need to adjust to the page part. Someone who is sensitive, imaginative, artistic, gentle, kind. It seems that this is how Luis is viewed. It seems like his situation might seem like there is some more youth flowing through his situation. Curious about Luis's life. Let's see what's in the next card showing. This next one can be interpreted in different ways. It could be thought of as some kind of guidance, or some kind of fear. The game titles this card as Hopes and Fears. And usually, if the card is a positive card, it represents a wish to focus on. And if the card is a negative card, it is a fear to work on avoiding or work on fixing. The Ace of Coins is, for the most part, a positive card. Of course, it could be a negative card. Basically, opportunity, a new beginning, a healthy beginning, maybe even an investment. Maybe Luis should look into investing, new opportunities, his health, his growth as a person. I think that this would be our guidance for Luis. And for the final card, this should be kind of the outcome, or the overly outcome. It's supposed to represent you, your situation now, or if it's a negative card, it could be a lesson that you'll be learning soon. So the Two of Staves, also known as the Two of Clubs or the Two of Wands, it seems that for this year, the outcome for this year for Luis should be ambitious. He should have courage. Don't take revenge on anyone. That would be a bad thing. But be bold. Enjoy your planning. Enjoy your courage. Have resolve. And maybe take hold of what you really have. Take a look at what you have. It seems like this year should be good for Luis. Of course, it's going to be up to him. There's no avoiding that. I hope that Luis got some insight from some of these cards, and if he didn't, that's fine. It's still fun to play. Luis, if you message us an email in the future, I'd love to see your responses or any thoughts about these cards. You're always welcome to play with us. We do have another querent, so we will be resetting this game. Our next questioner is a man named Jason. We have his birth date, gender, of course, and his question. So let's begin entering this data for the machine to process, an odd way to cast cards, but as some would believe, it's still relevant. The tarot has been around for a long while. Another episode we might talk about the history of tarot. This kitty does believe that the tarot can be represented through the game, since all 78 cards seem to be here. They have appeared, all of them, of course not in the same drawing. Oh, excuse me. My kittiness came out. We're about to get ready for our next entry. We're setting up for that. We once again want to thank you for joining in. We see this as a fun time, something fun to play with. It's not taboo to us, although the game will forever be called Taboo. It's just about time to begin entry for our next querent, Jason. Bear with us, as it does take a tiny bit of time to enter this info, but it's necessary. Jason is the name. We are live on Twitch, and we have a Twitch chat up. If you have any questions that pop up that aren't a question, it's not a question to be, dealt with cards, feel free to ask on here. Like perhaps you have a question about that pentagram symbol behind the B. A lot of people are afraid of that symbol. There's nothing to be afraid of. Even if it's upside down. You might have people claiming that that's some kind of a demonic or evil symbol, but its origin is anything but. It is a symbol, a natural symbol. It's supposed to represent how 5 elements, including the 4 that are in the tarot, the 5th being spirit, are interconnected and how they work with each other. There's one route between those 5 elements that creates the star, and the route around, which makes the circle, is another form of how these elements are related. We can talk about that more in depth another episode. So we are entering the question for Jason. What is in store for my culinary future? Like in my cat chops with that fish bone. One of these days, this kitty will sing for you in my own natural first language of Catanese. What is in store for my culinary future is what Jason wants to know. Let's go ahead and have the machine shuffle the cards. This game is actually able to deliver cards that are reversed. I hardly see them reversed in this game. The Knight of Cups will be representing Jason this time. But it does happen. It'll take just a few more seconds for me to process what the reversed will mean. It's hard to say what an opposite of something is. Sometimes it just needs to be given some time to interpret. Let's see what the significator card will be. The 9 of Swords. some kind of overburden. Perhaps this is what Jason might be afraid of. Hopefully this isn't, of course this is not the outcome, but so far an overburden. Overburdened with thoughts, maybe even insomnia, some illness and worry, and stress and anxiety. I'm a little concerned. By the way, if there's anything that you don't like in these cards, things can always change. The change happens from within you. Let's go ahead and see what the crossing card could be. It could be a hope card. I'm curious. The Knight of Swords. So the obstacle in this situation at the moment then is the Knight of Swords, which is also known as the Prince of Swords, who is, well, full of ideas and thoughts, designs. He is impulsive, impatient, and rushing. A little overcautious, but he can make firm friendships. So it looks like the obstacle might be about rushing into things, maybe just a little bit too quickly, a little bit too rash. This can always be changed. Of course, it's up to the querent, it's up to you, and I believe in you. Well, let's see what the next card is about. The crowning card, once again, the crowning card is about what you already know to be true. Represents what you think about the present situation. So the Four of Cups represents some kind of withdrawal. Perhaps Jason had gone through something, took a step back and analyzed some things and went forward in a new direction. Some kind of something that was going on, received some good stuff from it, but wasn't anxious about it. Maybe too much daydreaming. So this is something that Jason already knows has gone on in the life. Let's see what the next card shows. I wonder if we'll get any reverse cards in this session. The base of the matter, of course, is about what the root causes of the asking. What is motivating you to maybe ask this question? And the Six of Coins is basically wanting to be successful, success in material things and prosperity. Maybe even to the point of being charitable and giving back. So something going on with that. Let's see what the next card shows. Past influences, something that has happened in the past of the querent's life that is sort of creeping into what's going on in the current situation. We got the Ten of Cups, and that's a nice card. It's about blessings, a happy home, harmony, true happiness. It seems to me that this card may be showing to represent that Jason wants to get in touch with this feeling again of just having it all, sort of a just lasting success, blessings and family, good family time, harmonious family time. Let's move on to the next card and see what else is revealed to us. This should be forthcoming influences. So something hasn't happened yet, could be happening quite soon. within a matter of weeks or a matter of hours. Something that's going to come into the life that has some kind of influence on what this question is about. So this is a person, the Empress. The Empress represents kind of a mother figure, a nurturing figure, someone, possibly a mother, a grandmother. She may spur some creativity. She may inspire you in some way to go in a direction. She will make you feel kind of nurtured so that you'll feel self-confident in taking the moves that you'd like to take in the endeavor. So some kind of nurturing figure or mother-like figure coming soon. This is in the future. Let's go on to card number 7 and see what is revealed with that. How you see yourself in the present. The Ten of Swords. It looks like, oh, excuse me, a kitty burp. It seems like Jason, this is a really hard card. It represents kind of the lowest you can go, like a rock bottom. Some kind of disaster, a death, something, perhaps Jason has experienced some kind of a death or disaster recently. I certainly hope not. Let's see what the circumstances around Jason might seem like, the environment. The Seven of Cups. So as others are seeing him in this situation about the culinary life, the Seven of Cups is illusion, some kind of deception. Perhaps others view him as being deceived, or that this is some kind of fantasy or some kind of an illusion. Now, this isn't the truth. This is just how the circumstances may appear around Jason. So something along the lines of an unfulfilled promise. Maybe they think he's deceiving himself. Let's see what the Hopes and Fears card shows. This should be illuminating. The Moon. And it's reversed. Interesting. So the Moon is one of the hardest cards to some. To me, it represents something different than what a lot of books say. Well, not all the books, but the Moon is something that represents either your greatest strength or your greatest weakness. And a greatest weakness can be overcome to transform into your greatest strength. Some kind of, seems like we need to avoid temptations that might lead to some mistakes. It seems like we need to look at some repressed emotions and avoid projecting onto others. Be aware of self-deception and self-defeat. So Jason, take what you will from that. Perhaps things around you are telling you to slow down, or telling you to stop, or telling you to do whatever. But you may have some inner guidance that is telling you not to listen to all of those other voices, no matter how loud they may be. So be strong. This can be a trying time, I'm very curious as to what the 10th card will be. This 10th card that's about to show will be about the outcome of this reading. And Jason wanted to know about what his culinary life will be like. So let's see what the final card is. This should sort of represent the reading as a whole. The 7 of Coins. Interesting. The 7 of Coins is little gain for much labor. Perhaps he's going to have to work really hard to get some gain. Hopefully his hopes aren't crushed or he doesn't feel deceived. But it seemed, oh, this card is reversed. Let me see. So if the card is reversed, let me think a minute here. If the right side up, 7 of Coins, 7 of Pentacles. Could be debt. Or he's hoarding wealth. I hope he's not feeling exploited. Jason, it looks like we need some more support, some introspection, some reflection on our goals. I hope that something out of these cards is taken positively, or you take something from these cards and turn it into a positive. It's a very interesting read. Looks like there was some pain involved. If we're still live on the Twitch chat, if Jason wants to sign in, if he has any questions, or he can email us his questions. Perhaps we can have this reading again once something has been adjusted in Jason's life. All right, it's time to move on to the third querent. Let's see if I can pull up this third querent. Franklin. You'll notice, I don't know if any of you own this game, but after the card reading, the name is Franklin. After the card reading, you'll notice that if we can press A to continue, it takes us to some fortune numbers and some kind of, you choose your state and all this. We don't use it, one, because this kitty's from Texas, and Texas isn't even an option on the game, so to us this part of the game is broken. But the rest of the game seems to work fine. Franklin's birth date is 03/20/90. That was the year I was born. And Franklin's question is, what should I major in? Seems like we have a student here. It's very important to know what you're going to study. I, Sage the Cat, had a previous owner who went to college and didn't know what she wanted to do, and got some student loans. And she didn't like that. But as she says, she was naive. and that's fine. I think a lot of people were in the same circumstances way back then, 30 years ago. So Franklin wants to ask, what should I major in? Let's go ahead and input the question into the machine and shuffle the cards. Of course, the first card that'll be drawn will represent Franklin. It's going to be some kind of a face trump card. The Knight of Swords, very well. And the cards are being dealt. The Six of Cups is the significator, so that's pretty much what's going on with the question here. The commencement of steady increase, probably of just self-growth, seems logical. Let's see what kind of obstacle will be present in Franklin's question. Let's go on to the next card. Thank you, helper. Oh my. So basically, the obstacle is for him not to fool himself so that he knows who he really is. This is an obvious one. The devil represents one not knowing who oneself is, being led astray spiritually, so to speak. Interesting. All right, so let's see what kind of clues we have as to what Franklin should major in. Let's move on to the next card. Should be the crowning card, something that Franklin already knows to be true in his life, something that's active in the situation. The Ace of Staves, also known as the Ace of Wands. That is, wow, pure energy. Some kind of birth. Perhaps Franklin had a baby. Might be a young father. Might be thinking about, excuse me, wow. Might be thinking about new opportunity to care for his family. Some kind of fun excitement. Maybe this is exciting for him. Let's go ahead and move on to the next card and get more clues for Franklin. This is a very straightforward question. The base of the matter is the world. Now this is really interesting. The base of the matter card represents what is motivating you to ask this question. The world represents the Querent's universe, the Querent's world. Not everyone's world is the same as everyone else's world. So he wants to know, he wants to construct his world. He wants to know what his life will be about. And I do hope that Franklin doesn't use this reading alone for guidance, but to tap into the higher self, who your true self is, to get the answers. It might be interesting, which is what we always hope, that the answers could be reflected in something like this. This kind of symbolism is sacred to some and just a game to others, and for Sage, me, it's pretty much in between. Let's go ahead and get some more clues and move on to the next card. Past influences, something that's happened in Franklin's past that's influencing and motivating his question, is the Chariot. The Chariot is some kind of self-discipline. So maybe he did well in high school, middle school, wants to stay determined, wants to keep the momentum. I think that's admirable. And it seems to me like the clues for the answer to his question straight out will be in the last 4 cards. Let's go ahead and move on to this next card for more clues to his answer to be reflected in Taboo. The 3 of Swords. Well, the 3 of Swords as an incoming, forthcoming influence represents some kind of pain, some kind of sorrow, or an interruption. I guess look forward to that, Franklin. I don't mean look forward to it, but be prepared possibly. It seems like perhaps there will be some kind of interruption or a disruption. Make sure that if you are going back to school, Franklin, that you have everything set up to go. If you filled out all of your paperwork and gotten everything that you need so that at the last moment you're not rejected or not allowed to, join class for some reason, something like that. Something that hasn't happened yet, forthcoming influence, something coming up soon in Franklin's life. Now, the more exciting part, more revealing hopefully, is the last 4 cards. Let's move on to the 7th card. How Franklin sees himself. The Knight of Swords. That seems like a highly ambitious person. The Knight of Swords. He's full of ideas and thoughts. That might be why he's asking about what to major in. Don't be too cautious. Be willing to explore. Maybe when you take your core classes in college, then again, maybe you already have. Take the time to notice which classes are interesting to you. Be honest with yourself, but keep up those ideas flowing. Maybe keep a journal. Let's go ahead and move on to the next card, which is what the situation looks like his circumstances and environment looks like to him. Well, it seems like Franklin, to others, seems already like a teacher. It seems like Franklin is already pretty smart, maybe even wise. That's really interesting, Franklin. Keep it up. Maybe, possibly, you want to study to be a teacher or a professor, or maybe you'll be an inventor. But that's a really interesting card. Let's go ahead and move on to the 9th card. A reversed card, the 6 of Staves, also known as staves, also known as wands or clubs. So a reversed 6 of clubs, let's see. It seems like this is reflecting his indecision or difficulty in leading. Perhaps he's kind of pushed around. Maybe too many people tell Franklin what he should do and he might feel lost. I would say that this is a call for some introspection, which, perhaps get some solitude. Look within, and it is there where you'll find your true north. You'll find the answers, and make that your dominant thought so that others won't try to push you off your path like you're used to. You might be used to listening to your teachers telling you what to do. It might be time to be the leader of yourself, and that's very difficult for a lot of students, especially when their whole lives they've been told what to do, and their lives have been structured, at least here in America. I'm not speaking for all the students around the world, but it's time to become your own leader. That would be your hope. I'm curious as to what this final card will reveal. Let's see what the 10th card shows as to what to major in. So far, the only clue we've gotten is to learn about being a teacher. The Eight of Swords. Interesting. Now, as revolving around what this question is, to me, this would seem like something with politics or something with debating. Maybe Franklin would be interested in doing some kind of work with law. Or something, hopefully not working with a prison. But then again, that's not right of me to say. Something to do with are you sure you want to go to school, Franklin? Something to do with the justice system, maybe. Don't pay attention to too much detail, but it seems like this might even be some kind of investigator. Does that sound true for you, Franklin? I know that you're not on the chat, but I'm interested in what this card could mean for you. Maybe you're really interested in some kind of law or CIA stuff. Very interesting. If you know that that's true, look into what kind of classes to take and major in that. I don't know what that major would be called. Unfortunately, this kitty doesn't know, but your deans should. Let's go on and move to our next querent. Thank you for joining in, Franklin. It was a very interesting session. Our next question comes from someone named Sarah. And we have her question here. My little helper is on his way to start entering the question and the information soon so that Taboo can process this. You're welcome to ask questions through the Twitch chat. We're also on Facebook. Of course, this kitty doesn't read the Facebook, but someone translates it and tells it to me. And we also are on YouTube after the fact. We publish the videos afterwards for review, so you can have a record of what happened or what cards were drawn. And as a reminder, at least this kitty believes that nothing is set in stone, so time is always changing. It is in flux. There's nothing set. Although some of these symbols that may come up in the readings might reflect something true to you, if there's something that you see that you dislike or you want to change, you can. Of course, except for things in the past. But take your power. Be who you are. As doing so will oh, the birth date is 08-17-86, and Sarah is female. And the question is, what will the rest of the year be like for me? as I was saying, being yourself is the only way to help others. Although some people may be angry at you being happy in your life, you being angry about them being angry doesn't help. But if they're given the opportunity to see someone living their passion or living their life in happiness, it just might make them consider, hey, I can do that too. And maybe I can be happy also. So be yourself. It's the only way you can help anyone anyway. What will the rest of the year be like for me? If the for me doesn't fit, the be like will be enough, since the querent has already been entered. It might just fit. Cool. What will the rest of the year be like for me? And we're assuming it's this year. Of course, as you can see, this program on Taboo on Nintendo doesn't allow us to enter numbers into the question, so we have to say this year or that year. All right, let's go ahead and submit the question to the machine, and the cards will be metaphorically shuffled. I'm gonna lap some water real quick. All right, your card has been chosen. This card represents who you are. Just tradition. That way, the universe of the whole deck, in the universe of the whole deck, you are represented. So what's this year gonna be like for Sarah? Interesting. The significator card is the High Priestess. It seems as if perhaps Sarah is interested, although it's reversed. I'm gonna have to take a look at what that might mean. That Sarah might be interested in this year about some inner wisdom. That might be why she is tapping into to this tarot show. Sarah might desire to increase her spirituality, although I guess that's not really possible, but tap into her spirituality and be more receptive to the voices of her inner self. Perhaps she doesn't feel like she's so tapped in to who she truly is right now. That's interesting. Let's see what kind of opposition or obstacle she may have as of right now. The next card will be called the Crossing card. Strength. Well, this to me could mean that either someone is, or some, although it's not reversed, some external pushes and pulls may make her not be willing to listen to the self, or not that she's not willing, but may have forgotten how to. Or perhaps she basically feels like she's not strong enough. Well, I can just tell you right now that everyone can be strong enough. It just takes some time, and specifically time alone. Some kind of meditation. Hopefully it's not some kind of external forces that are making her not be who she wants to be. Let's get some more clues about this year. As this is the Crossing card, this was some kind of obstacle. Perhaps it's a help. Maybe it's not an obstacle, but perhaps this year Sarah has a lot of inner strength. Let's move on to what the next card shows. This next card should be the crowning card. It seems as if, well, first of all, the crowning card, just as a reminder, is signifies what one already knows, represents your beliefs of the current situation. It seems like perhaps Sarah has been feeling lost, maybe not knowing who she truly is. This is what stands out the most for me. Possibly self-deception, maybe just lost. It's going to be up to you what this year is about. As a reminder, Sarah, you can't rely on this game alone, although this game should be fun, and maybe there's some reflections for you here. But rely on your inner strength. Let's see what the next card shows. This will be interesting. The Two of Staves, also known as the Two of Wands. And the base of the matter is a card that's about what's motivating you. And it seems like possibly Sarah maybe needs some ambition, or maybe she's ambitious about something. Hopefully she's not vengeful or having some kind of vengeful thoughts. It seems like Sarah has been restless, confident, some pride, maybe. Then again, it could also be that she is in a state of planning something. Curious. Let's see what the next card shows. This next card should be, I believe, the past influences that are related to the question. And let's see what we have. The past influences, we got the Judgment card. The Judgment card is interesting. Let's see here. It's not reversed. So something that's happened in the past. Some kind of something that has caused Sarah to feel like she has matured, that she has grown into more of herself. Perhaps she experienced something that caused her to review her life, and maybe that's why she is desiring some kind of increase in spiritual connectivity. Does this ring true for you at all, Sarah? I'm curious about your responses to that. Some kind of a drastic change, something that has caused you to grow up, so to speak. I can't tell what that is, but maybe it means something to you. Let's move on to the next card, which would be the forthcoming influences. This is something that has not happened. Now, the Eight of Coins, also known as the Eight of Pentacles, I'm just getting used to the suits here. Is skill, some kind of skill. Hopefully, well, the forthcoming influence, let's see, it should be something that's about what is coming into your life soon, that it could be a person or an opportunity or an experience or a new perspective. Maybe some new kind of skill is what's coming forth. I can't quite tell what that skill is, but that would be what my intuition would be saying about this reading. Perhaps we'll get more clues in the next 4 cards. Let us see. Card number 7 should be how Sarah sees herself. The Queen of Coins. That is lovely. A lovely card. The Queen of Coins, or the Queen of Pentacles, is someone very imaginative, easily influenced. That's kind of something that was reflected in a previous card. Dreamy, good-natured, and psychic. Although we all are psychic because we all have psyches, which is basically another way of saying a soul or a spirit. This would be someone who's pronouncedly psychic. So this might be a reflection on the skill that would be coming forth into Sarah's life. Maybe she would be into tarot reading. Perhaps at a different time she might want to know some references to study. But the Queen of Coins is a lovely card. Actually, let me see here. Let me check this. Perhaps the Queen of Pentacles, a charming woman, sort of timid, truthful. Does this ring true for you? I believe I was thinking of the Queen of Hearts. So, others see you Let's move on to the next card and to get some more clues. So that was okay. A charming motherly person. And others see the view of others. This is a card that represents how the environment or circumstances around you appear. And let's see, this is not reversed. It seems like to others, Sarah is rebalancing her life, gaining new ethics, changing her morals possibly, becoming more fair. Perhaps she's becoming involved with law, maybe even becoming more, excuse me, more accountable. She's been seeming like a logical person. Let's move on to the next card. This next card would represent some kind of guidance. It'll be titled Hopes and Fears. And just to reiterate, if it's a generally negative card, it'll be a fear to work on or something to avoid. And if it's a generally positive card, it's something to hope on or to further wish on. As the Ace of Coins is, let's see here. Opportunities, investments, some kind of material gain or power. It seems as if Sarah is looking at new opportunity in this life. Sorry, of course everyone is. In this year of her life, she is becoming more grounded, or should hope to feel more grounded. Maybe look in some new healthy beginnings. Be hopeful for that for this year. Let's see what the final outcome card should be. It should kind of hopefully nicely wrap up the answer to her question, which is how this year is going to be for her. The Two of Coins, pleasant change. It seems like in general this reading has been in the positive direction. The Two of Coins is harmonious balance, harmonious change. The Coins is also known as Pentacles. Perhaps more friends will be visiting Sarah, or she'll be visiting more friends. But this is a general positive card. It seems like for this year, Sarah will be more playful, as everyone should be. I hope, Sarah, that you got some interesting reflections from this reading. I'm curious as to what your comments might be. I'll take a look at those another time if you leave them. Well, the sound of the bell concludes this evening's session. We hope that you were entertained or maybe even mystified. Join us again next week on Thursday night at 9:50 p.m. Central Time for our next episode. Thank you for joining in.